welcome to my channel, All Things Crochet, where we talk about everything that is yarn and crochet related. And I'm sorry that the angel part of the angel tutorial is not out today, but I was sick last week and I wasn't able to record that, but it will be coming out next week. But today I'm going to be teaching y'all how to crochet the Trinity stitch, which I think is a pretty easy stitch, even though I crochet really tight and it's sometimes hard to go through the chains. It is a pretty simple stitch, so I'll be teaching you how to crochet the Trinity stitch, which I also have here in the hat that I made. And I do not have a tutorial for this hat yet, but I do plan on making a tutorial for this hat soon. It has Trinity stitch, basic double crochet, half double crochet, and then a combination double crochet and front post double crochet border. So I am going to be making a tutorial for this hat soon, but today I'm just going to be showing y'all this stitch. So yeah, let's get started on today's tutorial. Okay, so you with the Trinity stitch, the best thing to do, especially if you crochet tight, is better to use a hook size larger than sorry about that. It's better to use a hook size larger than what the package says. So instead of using an I hook, I am using a J. I'm using big twist yarn. So first you start off with your foundation chain, which you chain multiples of 2 until you have it long enough. Now, multiples is just basically, so if you're doing in multiples of 2, then you just keep chaining 2, 1, 2, until it's long enough. So I'm just doing another small sampler like this bookmark here. So now that I have my chain long enough, I'm going to single crochet into second chain from your hook, which does not include this loop on your hook here. It's this first chain, this second chain, and you're going to single crochet. Then you're going to go into that same chain you just single crocheted into, and then you're going to go in and pull up a loop. Then you're going to go into the next chain and pull up a loop. Then you're going to go in the next chain and pull up a loop. And then you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through those 4 loops and then chain 1. Make sure you chain as loosely as you possibly can, because it will be very hard to go back into the chain on the second row or whatever row you're on if you do not chain loosely. I found that out with the hat that I made. It is very hard to go in if you do not chain loosely. Now sometimes I do forget that, and it is hard for me to go into the chains, but try as best you can to create a loose chain when crocheting the Trinity stitch. Now, whenever you start the Trinity stitch, you're always going to start in that loop that you just crocheted into last. You're going to pull up your first loop through that, and then you're going to pull up your second loop through the next chain, and then you're going to pull up the next loop from the next chain, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through those 4 loops on your hook and chain 1. And then you're going to keep doing that over and over again till you reach the end of your chain. Now I'm going to finish these last couple of stitches real quick, and then I'm going to show you how you finish off, because you do it a little differently when you finish off. So I'm going to do this last stitch here, and then I'm going to show you how to finish off or how to finish a row. So after you chain 1 on your second to last stitch on your chain or in your row, you're gonna still do the same thing, go into the same loop you just finished crocheting in and pull up a loop. Then you go into the next chain and pull up a loop. Then you go into the next chain and, well, it's your last chain, and you're going to pull up a loop. And then you're going to pull through all 4, but you do not chain 1 this time. You single crochet into your last chain until that last chain there. So you're always going to start the row with single crochet and end the row with a single crochet. Then you chain 1 and turn, and you single crochet into that stitch, and then you keep doing the same thing you were doing. So you're going to go into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, next, and then go into the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through all 4 of these loops, and then chain 1. And then you're going to keep doing that. So go into that chain that you did the last stitch in, yarn over, pull up a loop, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, go into the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through all 4 of those loops, and chain 1. Then keep doing the same thing over and over again. Just going through these 3 loops, or these 3 stitches here, making it so you have 4 loops on your hook, then pull the yarn through those 4 loops, and chain 1. Like so. And remember, on your last stitch you do not chain 1. Instead you have the 4 loops on your hook, and you yarn over, pull through those 4 loops, and single crochet. I'm going to do one more row with y'all, and then after that I will finish off. So remember, you single crochet to start out the row, and then you go into that same loop you single crocheted in, then you go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, then you go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 4 loops, chain 1, go in to that same loop through the first stitch that you just finished crocheting into. Then you go into the next one and pull up a loop, and then you go into the next one and pull up a loop. Then you yarn over and pull through all 4 of your loops on your hook and chain 1. And then you keep doing that for the rest of the row. Just go into the same stitch you finish crocheting in, going into, then and pull up a loop, then go into the next one, pull up a loop, go into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 of those loops, and chain 1. Go into that loop you just finished crocheting in, or stitch you just finished crocheting into, then go into the next one, pull up a loop, and then go into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 of the loops on your hook, chain 1, and then when you do that on the last stitch, you do not chain 1, you just single crochet into that last stitch right there. And when you finish off, you just do the same thing you normally would with any other project. Just chain 1, cut your yarn, and weave in your ends. So I will weave in my ends off camera, and I'll meet back up with you guys. Okay, so this is what the bookmark looks like after you weave in your yarn ends. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for the Trinity stitch. I'm sorry that I was coughing a little bit throughout the tutorial. And the angel tutorial should be out next week sometime. I do not know when it will be out, but it should be out next week sometime. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. And if you have any recommendations for any future videos y'all would like to see, feel free to say so in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to click the like button. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, feel free to click the subscribe button if you have not subscribed yet, and make sure you click the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my future videos. Happy crocheting. Bye.